learn to stay true to yourself. Even when you fall into those dark places and it almost seems as if there's no fucking hope left in the world, understand you're the only person that can build that strength to pick you back up again. When we are in these dark places, a lot of the time it's easy for us to become consumed by our mind, consumed by the past, consumed by our fears and anxieties, consumed by the external factors of the world, because a lot of times that's all we ever decide to focus on. I feel sometimes it's difficult, to see the light in darkness, right? But we need to realize that we create the light, we create that inner flame, and we create meaning to our lives. In order for us to create and move on, we have to make that choice to let go. Let go of the pain, let go of the past, and let go of all the excuses that prevents us to be able to move on, right? I think when we're in those dark places, it's easy to think to yourself that nobody feels the way that you do. And shit, I used to be one of those people to think that my pain was only meant for me and nobody can relate, was only ignorant and selfish. I feel with every time that you fall victim to your own mentality, it only strips you away from the person that you are in the current moment. You start losing parts of yourself, the things that you like. But closing off all those beautiful parts of yourself only traps you to identify with your pain. I think it's important for us to, stay true to ourselves, because hiding behind that mask of pain stops us from experiencing new chapters in our life and just overall new versions of ourselves, right? When we are trying to find, that hope and strength that we are looking for, and sometimes we may feel that we have no strength left, right? We have to realize during those times where it just seems difficult, when we're in a funk, we have to create that strength. We have to fight. We gotta fight. We might feel like we don't want to fight, but we have to fight, because we have this ideal version in our mind that we want to be somewhere else. We want to be somewhere better. And I'll be honest, sometimes we fall into the trap of sadness, but that's not a place that we want to be. We don't want to be depressed. We want to experience life, you know what I'm saying? And I feel that we all have pain, and some pains can be difficult to process than others, and sometimes we use pain to heal our pains. But I think the biggest risk when you are in these dark places, or you fall into these dark places, is to be able to let yourself feel again. To let yourself be vulnerable, to experience yourself, to let people know who you are. I think that's the biggest thing in the world that we're afraid to do, is just be vulnerable, to be authentic. And I think the moment that we start to, just completely be ourselves and be submerged in the present moment, nothing in the world matters. It's just this moment, you know what I'm saying? And pain itself is inevitable. I'm not saying pain is not going to happen again. It's just a matter of time before it does, you know what I'm saying? And I feel if we learn to let go of these pains and detach ourselves and not identify ourselves with our pain, we're able to step into a new reality, that can let us be our authentic versions without thinking that we are not. I feel that we're literally the only person in this world that could bring ourselves back. And I think sometimes we kind of sleep on ourselves a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Even if you feel that the world is against you, or people that you love are against you, or even if you feel like you're just in a fucking constant battle with yourself, you have to find a way to stay true to yourself. Whatever that means to you, even if it's getting a little dark up here, you have the power to create the reality that you want. And it just starts up here, bro. That's about it. And I think that's the most beautiful part. I think that is the beautiful part. The fact that you can change. The fact that you have a choice. You know what I'm saying? And whoever is watching this video right now, you're beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Stay true to yourself. Like my boy Eminem said, don't let them say you ain't beautiful. No. Let me stop making myself cringe a little bit. But, just in general, bro, just stay true to yourself. And sometimes, although shit might not go the way that you might not want it to go, or sometimes it just feels like everything is just the same every fucking day, find a way to look forward to something new. Find a way to make yourself feel fulfilled. Find a way to make the people around you feel fulfilled as well. And I think when we start creating a purpose, and we stay true to ourselves and we're authentic to ourselves, we realize life isn't that bad, even though there's some shitty parts to it. But we have to create that way of living, and it starts with us. So I know I haven't been making videos for a little bit. I'll be honest with y'all, I haven't been procrastinating, but I have been really fucking busy. But I want to make time for these videos. I love making these kind of videos, and whoever watches these videos, I appreciate you too. I'm trying, if I'm being honest. I'm not trying to fall into the dark place, but I think it's finding a reason. I'm human too, so at the end of the day, just live your life. That's where I'm gonna go with this video, and I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll talk to you guys all later. I'm in the fucking park. I got my skateboard. Hold up. Yeah, I got my skateboard today too. Yo, I got this skateboard in December, and I just started to pull it out today. And I ain't gonna lie, I almost bust my ass a couple times too, but that shit was funny as fuck. But yeah, I think I'm gonna skate for a little bit, and then I'm gonna take my ass home and play some Dying Light. So if you guys enjoy this video, I hope you fucking like the fuck out of that like button, and I'm gonna keep doing what I do, and you keep doing what you do, and just be beautiful. So I'm gonna talk to you guys all later, and the fuck? Fucking, alright, I'm gonna head the fuck out of here. I'll talk to you guys all later. Peace.